that we said to them, yes, we understand, and we are willing to work to see how we could resolve, but 9.25% is not going to be an accepted figure for the workers. So they have done that, and what they have done further is to complicate the situation by marrying it with a merit system, right, and making it sound as if the workers are now going to get 16.25% merit increase. Well, increase generally. There is nothing further from the truth. It's misleading. It's a misconception of actually what is happening.
The employees began strike action on June 29th. Chrislyn John, GBN News.
Other news, during a special press conference today, Prime Minister and Minister for National Security, Deacon Mitchell, addressed the noticeable increase in the crime rate in recent weeks. The Prime Minister noted that intervention is needed holistically. The National Security Minister said there have been 14 homicides and 6 suicides to date. In the RGPF's quarterly report, there has been a 1.4% increase in harm offences and a 6.6% in assault offences.
In the last 2 weeks, we've had a lot of attention arising from the suicide or alleged suicide of 2 young women, one of whom is a prominent and well-known attorney at law from a prominent family. But the statistics sadly also reflect that for the year we've had, in addition to the alleged suicides by the 2 young women, 4 suicides committed by men whose ages range from 50, 57, 49, and 67. And therefore it demonstrates that mental illness is no respect of sex and no respect of age. And statistically it means that we've had persons who are in their mid-50s and 60s committing suicide at double the rate of young persons.
Prime Minister Mitchell said a proactive approach is needed.
There is no doubt, therefore, as I've said, one homicide is one homicide too many. And that many of these homicides occur in situations where if the persons engaged in conflict resolution, if they had the skill set needed to talk through their disputes or their differences, that the acts of violence would not have happened, nor would the loss of life. And so it's absolutely critical that when we look at these situations, that we ensure that we take a preventative approach to the loss of life rather than a reactionary approach. And certainly we accept the Royal Grenada Police Force, which has the responsibility for law and order in our society, will have to do more to ensure that we minimize the risk of further homicides for the year.
The National Security Minister said efforts are underway to better control the importation of firearms into the country.
We recognize, therefore, that beefing up our screening and our security at our ports of entry, particularly at the seaport, is going to be critical. And so the Grenada Ports Authority is taking steps to be able to get the necessary screening that can allow for the screening of barrels and so on, so that we can detect attempts at introducing illegal firearms into our communities. As you're aware, we are also stepping up, and in recent times we were blessed to have received a donation from the United States of America that would allow us to better patrol our ports and our coastline to continue the interdiction of illegal firearms.
To date, 31 illegal firearms have been interdicted by members of the Royal Grenada Police Force. Speaker of the House of Representatives, Leo Keto, has called on government ministers to respond to questions or submissions from members of the opposition in the House. The appeal was made during today's sitting of the lower house after Finance Minister Dennis Cornwall told the House that he was unable to provide answers to questions submitted by opposition leader Dr. Keith Mitchell. One question in particular was originally submitted in May. The opposition leader asked Minister Cornwall to provide the list of the names of each delegation who traveled on behalf of the government from June 23, 2022 to May 31, 2023, and to provide the total cost of each trip. The minister responded.
At the last sitting, I provided a written answer to a similar question. However, it was alleged that the Minister of Finance did not provide an answer. I want to state here in this honorable House that travel undertaken by members of Parliament does not necessarily be funded by the government of Grenada, or payments were made from the Ministry of Finance. And in that regard, I am unable to provide such answers. Again, the question that's been asked here is relating to June 2023 to May 2023. Again, I am not sure if there is an answer I can give to that one at the moment because I have not been provided with that information. Notwithstanding, if that information becomes available, I'll be able to provide that in the next sitting.
Well, the opposition leader was dissatisfied with the response by the finance minister and asked the speaker for help in securing appropriate responses from the ministers. In response, the Speaker of the House made an appeal to all members of Parliament serving as government ministers.
Honourable MPs, I want us to get to the point where when questions are asked, we can provide the answers that are available in the ministries or wherever. And I'm getting this sense that it's not all the time a minister travels or government official travels, that the travel and the expenses are funded by the consolidated fund. Sometimes you have sponsors and donors that cover the cost. I don't know if any information can be brought to Parliament with respect to sponsors and donors. But costs on the government of Grenada, on the consolidated fund, has to be reported to the Parliament. And I did make the call that ministers should try and provide the information that is within your reach. And sometimes it's difficult for a minister to get information from some other sector, but it's government and we have a responsibility to provide that information to Parliament, right? It belongs to the public domain, it's part of the public discussion, and it's part of the public interest, knowing exactly what is happening in government. So I appeal to members of this House to be sort of more precise in terms of responding to the questions raised.
The story to report, it's on to the next round of the Groovy competition for 26 artistes. The final night of preliminary judging took place on Monday. Christina John is going to tell us about that.
The list of Groovy Monarch semi-finalists has been released following 3 nights of preliminary competition at the Lashington Hard Court in St. David. The Brian Griffith Groovy semi-finals will take place on July 27th at Progress Park in St. Andrew, where 11 of the top acts will be selected for the Groovy finals on Bacchanal Friday, August 11th at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. The semi-finalists are as follows in alphabetical order: Sheldon Amede Dash, Jerry Batiste, Papa Jerry, Akim Batiste, Sway John, Shem Bernard, Terra the Governor, Kellan Brathwaite, Juice the Voice, Teddy Christopher and Brandon Joseph, Topcat and Blazer, Ryan the Riggs, Riggy Atmosphere, Sheldon Douglas, Shamak Duncan, Shamak, Jelani Fleming, Lil Jello, Kevin Francis, Blaze, Randolph Isaac, Randy Isaac, Clint John, Superflying Flint, Ronnie Joseph, Rooney J, Mandela McDonald, Mandela Lynx, Valine Ned, Valine, Kellan and Kelson Auguste, Looney Spark and Electrify, Renroy Auguste, Blackadon, Jalen Olive, Boise, Showin, Paul, Mr. Walkie, Dave Peters, Boogie B, Andrew Phillip, Hits, Curtin Roberts, Alma Boy, Hector Thomas, Mr. Legs, Matthew Thomas, Mr. Golden, Hermione Victor, Miney. We wish all the artists good luck as they move on to the next stage of the competition. Chrislyn John, GBN News.
The National Insurance Scheme continues to engage the public as it seeks to implement measures that will enhance the sustainability of the fund and address recommendations made following the 13th actuarial review. The third consultation was held in Corinth, St. David in the past week. The NIS board has proposed that government urgently addresses the quick depletion of its reserves by implementing key measures that can save the scheme in time to come. Recommendations from the actuarial review include an increase in the pensionable age from 60 to 65 and a gradual increase in the contribution rate from 12 to 16% between 2024 and 2031. Residents of St. David shared their concerns and offered recommendations for replenishing the fund.
If you're talking sustainability, what you'll find happening is that in the latter years, in my latter working years, my contribution will go up, but still does not compensate enough for my early working years. And so that formula that we're using, which is 1% on my last salary. So in other words, like this year, I'm getting 1% on my last salary for increase, might just put us in some form of trouble. So possibly a more equitable formula can be used where a proper average over contributions can be had.
In this instance, if it is so kind of die hard now to make changes, and too much of changes at one time, in my opinion, just for the NIS to survive, I believe if the main purpose is that the new benefits that we added over the years puts an extra load upon the NIS. And I believe if we take some of them out, we could actually survive. I'm not saying don't increase, just don't increase too much, and the age increasing. But my point is we must get people their money after they would have. I mean, in other words, listen, I am paying NIS, I suppose, for 40 years. I expect after 40 years, I have my pension. That's not selfish thing. It's like a susu.
The contributions has to increase to 750. What about the persons who have had 500 contributions and they said that they have fully satisfied the NIS benefit option? What happens to these persons? Would they be paid based on the 500 contribution, or would they have to be deemed to go back to work to make the 750 contributions before they are paid?
Is the body that will say we are going to increase or not increase? Because as you can see, based on your projection over 2002 to now, it's been yearly or every couple of years it's been recommended, and it goes back to voting and nothing happens. So at this point, what is the next step?
Motorists will be paying less at the pumps for gasoline and diesel. In the Petroleum Products Price Change Notice issued on July 18, 2023, the Ministry of Finance announced the following changes. Effective Tuesday, July 18, the price of gasoline per gallon decreased by 37 cents from $15.61 to $15.24. The cost of diesel reduced by 35 cents from $14.44 to $14.09. Kerosene increased by 66 cents from $10.25 to $10.91 per gallon. We can tell you too, the price of the 20-pound cylinder remains the same across Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique. However, the price of the 100-pound cylinder decreased by $1 $236.25. In Grenada, moving from $236.15 to $234.90. While in Carriacou, the price there moved from $259.15 to $257.90. The Ministry of Finance says it continues to monitor petroleum product prices and will intervene as necessary if prices exceed $17. This story to report: the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Trade and Export Development is hosting a 3-day regional workshop on the essentials of migration management at the Radisson Grenada Beach Resort. Here's what we can tell you. The Essentials of Migration Management, EMM 2.0, is the International Organization for Migration's flagship training program on migration management, which provides online resources and foundational training to government officials and all stakeholders dealing with migration. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Roxy Hutchinson, says the workshop is a golden opportunity for the region to discuss the challenges that it faces and sees on the horizon.
This is a critical workshop for us in the region and particularly for us in Grenada. Migration has always been a part of our history. Migration gave birth to the diaspora that we have, that we are very proud of. We also have within our region our own integration movements, the OECS and CARICOM, within which we have freedom of movement within the OECS, and we have also movements within the CARICOM through the CSME. And so for us, migration is not a new topic. What is critical for us in the region is how we manage migration.
Hutchinson noted that migration is sometimes looked at negatively, but said there is a need to look at ways to harness its benefits.
We have taken the decision as government to look at migration within the multifaceted approach and to ensure that we cover all of the aspects of migration. Because migration is beneficial when you look at it within the sectoral aspects of it. Migration and health, migration and labor relations, migration and development, migration and human rights, migration and climate change. And so the idea of looking at the essentials of migration management, which is where the policy emphasis should rest, is that we harness the benefits of migration and we develop a policy framework to deal with the challenges that would arise from migration.
All right, so the Permanent Secretary said the development of a framework is required for the government to deal with migration issues.
In our region, what affects one country eventually affects the other country. Some countries are ahead in dealing with migration issues, meaning that they have migrants, those who are coming in legally and those who are coming in illegally. We in Grenada do not have much of a problem with that, but we need to ensure that should that arise, because it takes one natural disaster, it takes one crisis somewhere to give birth to that level of migration that we normally see in the refugee area.
The intensive workshop and discussions cover several topics, including regional integration, immigration matters, climate financing, citizenship by investment, and the creative economy. All right, insects are on the other end of this evening's GBNI Soul Lens.
On Sunday night, preliminary judging for the Groovy Soca competition was forced to be postponed due to an unexpected and unusually large infestation of flying insects at the Lashington Hard Court. Competition resumed on Monday night after the Ministry of Health fogged the area. Here's a photograph of the results of the fogging. Because Because of the postponement, Spice must waive the entry fee for last night's event because of the inconvenience caused. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp at 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
Grenada had the best mass by far. Grenada had the best job in the whole wide world. Grenada had the best mass by far. Grenada had the best job in the whole wide world. Watch mass and watch bacchanal. Soca gone international. That's going around the globe. Soca not just for carnival. Watch mass and watch bacchanal. Soca gone international. That's going around the globe.
Welcome to the SMC's Crescendo to Grenada's Panorama 2023. And you see pan business, that is we business.
My name is Andrea Isdale. I am 21 years old and I am from St. Paul's. For me, playing pan was like second nature because like any other community-based organization, when you grow up seeing your parents do something, it's natural for you to want to do it. So it wasn't a choice, it wasn't a decision. It was just a natural thing that I knew that I actually had to do. So it was no choice. At the pan yard, we have on Thursdays is our in-house pan yard liming day. So we have different things. So tonight is our cricket night. We have games night. We try to bring in persons to speak, to have motivational nights, to get players more inspired and wanting to play the pan more and to have a greater love for the pan. So that's some of the things that we do. It's definitely okay to come and see us practice. We always put on a show, whether it's practice or performance or a gig. Our days for practice are Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m.
Spice Up returns to the Esplanade Mall Courtyard. Spice Up the Esplanade. Every Wednesday and Friday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Spice Up the Esplanade. Your all-in-one Spice Mass event. Get a taste of everything carnival. From music to mass to food to fashion. All things carnival in one place. Esplanade Mall, July 7th to August 11th. Don't you miss it.
Republic Bank CPL 2023 will be one for the books. The most exciting cricket series, the Caribbean Premier League, is back and bigger than ever. 34 games across 5 territories and only one channel in Grenada, GBN, bringing you live ball-by-ball coverage of the Republic Bank CPL 2023 on GBN Television, Channel 7 and 11, 20 on cable. From Wednesday, August 16th to Sunday, September 24th. Sponsors, get on board now. Grenada's broadcast of Republic Bank CPL 2023 is made possible by Republic Bank. We're the one for you. The National Lotteries Authority, Grenlec, and Hard On Plus.
NIS, our team proudly works to support the evolving needs of Grenadians. We have made some changes to our operations and want to keep you informed. Firstly, we are happy to introduce the new unemployment benefit. This benefit will provide an insured person with 50% of his or her former income in the case of sudden unemployment. To support this benefit and other benefits we offer, it was necessary to increase the contribution rate. The contribution rate will increase gradually each year until it reaches 16% in 2031. As always, the contribution will be split between you and your employer. The pensionable age will also increase from 60 to 65 years. This increase will also be gradually reaching age 65 in 2029. Pensioners will continue to be eligible for a pension from age 60, but will receive a reduced payment. The NIS recognizes that the prices of basic customer goods are increasing globally. Therefore, we are happy to also increase the weekly minimum pension payment by 25%. Finally, we have adjusted our survivors' benefit payment to a percentage of the age pension minimum. Widows, widowers, and dependent parents will receive 100% or $58 weekly, while children will receive 50% or $29 weekly of the deceased's pension. We are here to make the transition to these new changes as clear and simple as possible. If you have any questions on how these changes impact you and your family, please contact our new informational hotline at 440-6647 or visit www.nisgrenada.org. Thank you for allowing us to be your social security provider.
Good morning. 16 minutes gone past the hour of 7 o'clock, and you know the dynamism of free broadcasting and the GBN. You know, I just told you that we don't have any guests, but of course, Missy Chrissy is here with us. Morning, Missy.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am gooder.
You're gooder? That's fine.
How that song?
It sounds good.
No, you have to say it like my father. It sounds noise.
Noise? Where's your father from?
As the Jamaicans would say, him from here.
Oh, okay, I see.
All right, Chrissy is together with Ackiron Morain, and they are representing UpStage Mass Band.
Yes.
Good
morning, everyone.
Tell us about UpStage.
Ooh.
I'm liking what I'm seeing in the narrative that I've got. That email I got, Tell us about it.
Well, it's good to be here. I'm Chrislyn Lashington, or Missy Chrissy, and we started UpStage way back during the pandemic as a TV show. It was a way to keep entertainers doing something, because at that time we weren't having Carnival for 2020, and also a lot of people in Grenada and outside of Grenada were stuck at home. So we figured, why not bridge the gap and create a platform for entertainers to entertain people stuck at home. And we have remained dedicated to being a space for creative entrepreneurs in Grenada as well as in the Caribbean and the diaspora. And last year we've morphed into a mass band.
Wow.
So we started and successfully revived after so many years the traditional sailor mass on the streets of St. George's, and we're so happy to do the same again this year.
UpStage, how did that name come about?
Ooh, I had a whole committee and we brainstormed so many names, but UpStage emerged because I have a performing arts background, and in theater, UpStage is a term.
Yeah.
It's a term that refers to a certain part of the stage, and it can also be referred to someone who is outshining another on stage. So it has multiple meanings.
Okay.
And
like you're upstaging now.
I mean, if
that's a given.
If it's in the name.
That's been a performance.
All right.
But we are all part of that showcase, and this is why we have UpStage Mass.
Good. And Ackiron, prior to us coming on air, I had to tell him, hey, Carnival hasn't started, because he was bouncing, and you said he is Mr. Energy. Ackiron, tell us about Ackiron.
All right. So Ackiron Morain. Basically, some persons may know me way back. I started Junior Calypso, so I sort of grew up in the
when
culture.
You started Junior Calypso, you were Calypsonian?
Yes, I used to sing at a very young age.
What was your sobriquet?
Well, at that time, okay, so the Calypso, it would have been Ackiron Morain.
Okay, all right.
But then some person may also know me in the soca scene as Hypermatic. Right, so I used to sing soca as well. So
I could see where the energy came from now.
Yeah, so it's a long time since I got rid of the stage fright.
Okay.
For UpStage Mass, being on the road is just like, okay, I get the next opportunity to just perform and just be out there and just showing a great character. I just love being in character.
Nice. One of the things I like about that, from the the brief engagement with it, is that it engages children, and getting children to play into sailor mass. That to me is inspirational to an extent. How did you come up with that?
We thought that if we're serious about tradition and serious about it being back consistently in Grenada for a number of generations, we needed to ensure that we are part of Kiddies Carnival. So this year we said we are dedicating a space for that. So girls as well as boys from 3 to 15 years old, they are able to play the traditional sailor mass. And something that we're doing as well is not just you come, you collect your costumes and you're ready for the Saturday, the 5th of August, but we're also hosting a special children's mass camp where they can come, they can decorate their sailor sticks, and they also learn some of the traditional sailor dances, because there are actually specific movements that are associated with the sailor mass.
Having said that, leads me to my next question. I want a background of this sailor mass thing. Where is this sailor mass? How did that come about? What is sailor mass?
Sailor mass is very self-explanatory, right? It is a masquerade depicting sailors, and this would have started way back in the late 1800s, early 19th century, where you would have seen lots of sailors literally coming to Grenada. So a lot of the Navy ships from the US, from America, they would visit the Caribbean, and the sailors would parade. And what you would find is, of course, with mass there's imitation. So we of course imitated that in terms of the costumes, and we morphed it into so many different things. There's of course the traditional white sailor that we portray, but there's so many other types of sailor masquerade that exists. So
Okay.
there's years of of things that we could do with the sailor mass.
Now, one of the things that you said that I like a lot is the fact that the children especially are not only given the opportunity to come and play mass on the day, but getting to meet with each other to sort of prep themselves. So in doing so, they might even get a little historic background of the mass that they're going to play and get involved, get to gel a bit. So, but one question though, I am from Grenville, I'm from Pearls, and I'm not hearing sailor mass for Grenville.
What do you mean sailor mass for Grenville? This sailor mass is for the entire country.
No, but you said it's going to be paraded in St. George's.
Right. So we are parading 4 times, actually. So we're parading at the Traditional Mass Festival next Saturday on the 29th of July in Victoria, St. Mark. We're also doing Kiddies Carnival on the 5th of August, as well as Carnival Monday and Tuesday. We would love to parade in Grenville. We were there for St. Andrew's Carnival launch, but we are awaiting details on the parade in Grenville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's one of the things.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. And having launched the band, how has the response been thus far?
It's been interesting, and I'll let Ackiron give you some because he's out in the field a lot when we do pop-up registration, but people are very interested and excited about the revival of something that is traditional, and we are doing our best to educate and be there, but of course we are seeing some people a little hesitant as well. So people are excited, but they're also saying, I don't like playing mass. So you find, there's a bit of both in the field, but largely we've been getting a lot of positive response in terms of support for something like this. I don't know if you would agree.
Yes, I totally agree. As a person out in the field, as she said, at this point, people actually call me Mr. Sailor.
Okay.
Right.
But the hat makes you look like that in truth,
Yes.
It seems like you just came off one of the ships. Yeah.
Yeah, so people right now, they are aware, they love the idea, they love the concept. It's something to a lot of people, they may not even experience sailor mass before, because for instance, for me growing up, I didn't really hear about sailor mass. I barely saw it on the road, right? And then to see a group of young persons bringing this new concept and saying that it's historic and it's traditional and it's ingrained in our culture already, actually, they are quite intrigued. And then when we tell them about the experience, we show them the costumes. They see us in the costume. They're like, "Yo, this looks really nice. It's different to what they're accustomed, what's already on the road." And for instance, some of the conservative persons who want to be out there but not really getting the opportunity to put and not really comfortable portraying what's the other options, it's like, okay, this is something to consider. This is something I can play with my family, my grandma, my mom, and my niece, and my baby cousin.
It's a family affair.
We can all come together and play together. So that's basically the feedback we are getting out there. Persons are really excited, they're liking it. But as she says, some persons, they still need a nudge to sort of frame their mind on how they can enjoy. And that's why I'm the vibe master, to show them that you can play real mass.
There we go again, the vibes master. you can be termed as the elephant man, the energy god.
whichever one I can perform.
The soca version.
Okay. All right. Okay, so now let's hear about the registration and where is the mass camp located and stuff like that. Could you do that?
Of course. Registration is open now for both our children and adult costumes. So the deadline for Kiddies Carnival is this Saturday, though. So it's really important to sign up by Saturday. And you can register on our website, www.upstagemass.com. And you can actually register there, and you have the option to either pay online or pay in person. So we can give you that. And of course, if you need more information, you can call us or WhatsApp us. The number is 405-2255. And we're also in person this week because we know it's an important week for registration. You can visit us at the Grenada Museum. We're there on Friday from 12:30 to 5:30 p.m. And we're also there on Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. So you can actually come in and register in person, see the costumes, touch it, feel it, that type of thing.
It's a really nice quality too,
yes,
I can tell you.
Really good. And about the quality is that these costumes, you wear them for Carnival, but you can also wear them again.
Also,
it's premium quality, and we do the best. And it's so important to also underscore that all our costumes are made in Grenada by Grenadians. So we are not just, showcasing our culture, but we're also supporting loads of different Grenadian entrepreneurs and businesses while doing this Sailor Mass.
And what's the cost for the costume?
The children's costumes are $250 for boys as well as girls. We have options in white and red and white and blue. And the adult costumes start at $550, and we have a spicy skipper and the skipper for $595. And we have a special on now, so if you come to us and you said you heard us on GBN, you can get $50 off your adult costume.
Well, I'm here now.
Hey, well, sign up. All you have to do is whip out your phone, and it's a nice quick process online.
Okay.
You put in your size, the color you want, and you submit.
Okay, sounds interesting at Grenada. Sounds interesting. Carnival is really in the air, and I like this dimension, especially as Ackiron said, for the conservative folks, And why is my phone actually making that noise this morning? All right. Okay.
Indeed. Yeah, we're all about making sure that people are feeling comfortable on the road. We bring a great experience.
Okay.
We even have an all-inclusive option where people can, we take care of your drinks and your meals for you.
Okay.
So it's,
Yeah. Let's take this call, Chrissy. And good morning, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Innocent, and good morning, Mr. and Mrs. Sailor. I do acknowledge your presence, and I feel good to have our traditional mass back on streets. But one of the things I am thinking as a old masquerader with bad knees, I think we should come out a little earlier and try to incorporate and include the schools. Take it to the countryside. We have students in Birch Grove, in St. Mary's, in Grenville that are willing to pay. And considering it's time for school and a lot of parents are complaining, all of these children are taking part, I think we can maybe look at, reducing costs, having a bus that we can feel good as parents to know our children are taken care of You're picking them out by bowler, and you bring them down to the mass, and you bring them back up. And I believe if we do that, we will increase, the activities of our children, involvement, and we will feel good and comfortable because we know Missy Chrissy would look after them and Mr. Sailor would look after them. Thank you, and please consider incorporating the children in the school, and let us bring back our traditional mass in a real way. I really love the idea of the cover-up. Thank you, and have a great day.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
I think those are excellent suggestions. What I will say is, for instance, when we go to the traditional mass festival in Victoria, we organize a bus.
Okay.
So we all meet up, we have a bus, and also we encourage that if you have a number of people from a certain community, we can definitely facilitate the process of, ensuring we have transportation for people. So we're trying to be as accessible as possible. And also, if we have a number of people, like she said, with bad knees, we have a board bus on call. But we of course would need a number of people to say, I am willing to do this in order to purchase, because at the end of the day, everything is a cost.
Yeah.
So we have to be mindful. We have to be mindful,
So the suggestions that the caller made, in order for it to be taken into consideration, it has to be for next year because registration closes this Saturday.
Obviously with the schools, we have visited a few schools. We haven't visited many schools in the countryside, that is true. We visited St. Andrew's launch. We were at St. David's launch as well. We will be in Victoria. So we are making those connections, but what we find is, just like she said, a lot of people on the countryside are not necessarily willing to come to St. George's to play carnival. So we do have to find a way of bridging that gap where we can be at Rainbow City, for instance, parading. But, again, we need lots of information to prepare for those sorts of
Let's
things.
take this call and then we come back and do the wrap. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you. Missy Chrissy.
Hey.
How are you, sweetheart?
Good. How are you, sir?
Too bad. I know you're from a little child growing up. And I tell you what, I'm very intrigued with what you're doing. I tell you, as a little child, when we had Sailor Mass in Grenada, all through the streets of Grenada, if you can introduce, you get the support that they used to have vehicles that they convert into like a tank. I don't know, you may not know those days, but Sailor Mass was very interested in Grenada. And if you can get it to what it used to be, you'd be doing a very good justice to Sailor Mass. I've been a sailor for over 18 years. And because of what you're doing, I'm telling you 100%, I'm going to be part of your team today. And this carnival. So I will tell you, you would know you know exactly who I am. I'm not sure if you could catch a voice. But I've been a sailor man for almost 18 years, and I will be part of your team this year. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're excited to have you.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you so much. Right. I must say, I love the idea of having, of course, we need funds to do everything. Wow, this is what's going on with the phone.
Okay.
We need funds and support, but we're growing slowly. We actually produced costumes and inspired Sailor Mass in Dominica's Carnival this year. So we had more than 200 people on the road in the streets of Dominica playing Sailor Mass, costumes made here in Grenada. So there is definitely potential, and we're looking forward to the support of the caller and everyone else listening, so that we can really keep our tradition alive.
Sharon Bartholomew says they should not have to go to St. George's to play Mass. Someone in the outer parishes need to organize Mass in the outer parishes. Proper title for the children's parade, Kiddies Carnival. Right.
The Children's Carnival Frolic.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but of course we largely just say Kiddies Carnival for short.
Okay. Yeah. We're out of time, so in wrapping up, Mr. Energy.
Yes. So I just want to encourage persons to come on out, get registered, come have fun with us. Because I can tell you, on the road, if you came across us last year, you will see it was a nice band. The band was like felt very family. We felt like a family, right? We had persons from St. Vincent who were here.
Fireman Hooper,
who
just won.
Right,
Fireman
he was
Hooper
here
played with us last year,
and we were all just vibing together, doing our dances and just having a fun like a family. I tell you, food wasn't an issue, drinks wasn't an issue. We had 2 music trucks at that point. People were just coming and joining the band with their trucks and everything. Yeah. And we had the steel pan, of course, last year.
That's good.
That was fun, right? Good. And it's just real vibes. So come on, I will take care of your vibes. I will make sure you're having fun. I can promise you that.
What's wrong with this guy?
Listen, you're missing out.
It's rainy on the outside. Oh, hence the reason why you're pushing extra energy.
Come on, warm up the blood.
Who does that?
We do that.
Missy.
Thank you so much for having us, and big up to all of the masqueraders who played with us last year, and all the people who came to our Sailor Fete that we did on Whit Monday. We are about this idea. We are about the intangible cultural heritage of Grenada. This is what we're dedicated to, and we're looking forward to seeing you in person. Register with us on Friday at the museum, 12:30 to 5:30 p.m., and on Saturday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Call us, WhatsApp us, 405-2255. That's the number, and of course, it's UpStage Mass on social media as well as our website.
Before you go, Love Child Kim says, Mass, let me get it. Mass last a few years was too much nakedness. I love the old Mass. I used to be excited to go Grenville to see the different types of Mass. Yeah. So this is a Mass that doesn't necessarily have you naked.
Yeah.
No, we're very clothed. Yeah. We're very clothed. Right. So that's something that's important for us, that people have an option to be conservatively dressed on the road, but also have a good time.
Good. Thank you very much, Missy, Chrissy, and the Energy God.
Yes, thank you so much for having us.
Folks, UpStage Mass, you heard how you can register and so forth. Registration closes this Saturday.
For Kiddies Carnival, yeah.
For Kiddies Carnival, so please, all right. Great job reviving Sailor's Mass. I played in Guave many years ago. The economy isn't capable of sustaining Mass in every parish. Okay. Thank you, folks. We take that break. We'll be back with more of the conversation. Don't you go anywhere.
Transform your life with the Rises suite of loan products.
And so it begins, a journey like none other. Every moment has the potential to be unforgettable. Bring home a piece of the tropical green forest with every emerald. Capture the sparkling light of flawless water in a diamond. Make the sunrise and sunsets last forever. With precious colored gemstones, the essence of happiness is in our most precious memories. So, when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will last forever. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
Yes, Grenada, get ready for the event of the year. The Technology and Innovation Expo 2023 is coming to the Trade Center, Morain, St. George, on Friday, 4th August. Immerse yourself in a world of limitless possibilities where technology and innovation collide. Join us as we bring together the brightest minds and groundbreaking inventions under one roof. You'll experience firsthand the advancements that are shaping our world, from innovative products and services to artificial intelligence and virtual reality. This event would be the hub of transformative ideas, emerging trends, and platforms for startups, to the showcasing of innovations, forging partnerships, and unlocking new opportunities. Save the date, Friday, 4th August 2023 at the Trade Center, Morain, St. George. Don't miss out on this opportunity to witness the future come to life. The Technology and Innovation Expo 2023. Call us on 456-1568, 437-1568, or email CaribbeanCodingAcademy@gmail.com to secure your spot. See you at the expo.
Parents, do you go to bed with the knowledge that your children are comfortably asleep in the next room? Or are they allowed to attend every FET advertised? You are responsible for the safety and well-being of your children, and it is your responsibility to know their whereabouts. Children should not be at adult events. Please guide your children, engage them in age-appropriate activities. Let us be spicy parents for this carnival season and beyond. S. Speak to your children about positive behavior. P. Pay attention to them at all times. I. Inspire good behavior in your children by also displaying good behavior. C. Check with your children. Always know their whereabouts. Y. You are responsible for your children. Maintain control to keep them safe. This is a message from the National Parenting Program, Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs.
My name is Alimaka Motley. I've been here doing nails since 2017. Me being self-employed, I have realized that paying the NIS benefits me now and even when I retire. By the time I'm 65, I will be receiving contributions back from NIS. So I benefit because I'm self-employed. Anything can happen. If anything happens to you while you're at work, you've got a bad cold, you have the COVID, you have dengue, we have all these diseases that's plaguing us at the moment. NIS will be giving you back some form of money when you're ill. So I would encourage all small business persons to sign up with NIS now.
All right, viewers and listeners, welcome back to the conversation this morning. We've got some time, so let's talk. Once again, I want to say good morning to and thank you to Missy and the gentleman, Mr. Morain, for sharing that information with us this morning. Cynthia Big, yes, long ago the folks were able to manage. We had our carnival in Grenville starting around 1 p.m. and by 6 things started to get slow and people went home to be back home to get ready for work, school, as was Ash Wednesday next. So let's go to the telephone line. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, sir. How are you today?
I am alive and thankful. Welcome.
Right. They're just chipping in on the mask. Well, I used to be a masquerader too, and that's the only mask I used to play, sailor mask.
Okay.
And most of them is sailor a show. But what used to happen to the bands, they have to individually portray the things of the band and of the sailors. And the sailor mask used to be the cheapest mask, but in those days in Grenada, you're getting every piece of thing you need to make a costume in Grenada in the stores. So I don't know what happened now.
Okay.
So what I'm talking about, like you'll see on the street, you see a very big anchor from the ship. And a guy is carrying that anchor with a long piece of big chain that you never see, a long rope, but that thing might be made out of sponge, so it's you might be seeing, and how he's putting it like it's heavy, so you on the street and you're watching, you're feeling sorry for him, but it's light. Then you'll see the big spanner, you'll see they portray the different section of the sailors on the ship, the mechanics, they might have a little boat with a little guy inside, and suddenly you'll see heave out a rope, and you see somebody try to get the rope to hold it, so because the boat is bracing up. All these things, they portray in these things.
Okay.
And they used to have nice masks. I'm going to give it about 3 bands. Angel Haps. A year they play one of the biggest sailor mass in Grenada called the Longest Day, and that was a very big band. The Belmont Steel Band had played a war mass where you get the tanks, the jets, the officers, everything. You could have seen everything. St. Paul's Band had played a mass called Back to Mexico. And they had portrayed everything else, the raids with the cowboys, the different men in the different gangs and the band and thing and all this stuff. But in those days, as I can tell you, St. Paul's Band mass used to start and from an I forgot the right up on the Greens and come down to St. George's. So these sometimes that is what encourage, but we can't go back to that. So that is when I encourage the people to join up, because the people in the village know that the band leaving and to going down to town. So it's different stories.
All right, thank you.
Can't go back, but still.
Thank you, caller. Have a good one. All right, thank you. Good. All right, you know the number, 435-2041. That's the number to call to get in on the conversation this morning. Want to say thanks to Missy Chrissy again for, people, based on the comments on our Facebook page, people seem to be very excited about this. Yeah. Sailor Mass is back. 435-2041. Let me see what's happening on our WhatsApp platform. And Missy Chrissy, your costumes look good. Congrats. I hope people embrace this and you're actually wearing clothes, not this nakedness we call mass these days. Yeah, a lot of folks are interested in that. All right, someone says, good morning. I would like to send out belated birthday greetings to Andrew Patrick of Woodlands in St. George, coming from his aunt Serafina, with lots of love. Okay, belated happy birthday to you, Andre. Hope you had a blast. Keeping abreast with what's happening on our social media platforms, this contributor on WhatsApp says, good morning. Please, we need some help around the playfield area by the stadium and River Road. Don't just come and post photos on social media. Too much mud in the road. They cleaning the drains, but Lord help them and us. Are they waiting for someone to slip and fall or vehicle accident? Please, GBN, take a drive, take a look at the playing field. More rain falling, please. All your okay. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Innocent.
Welcome.
I'm taking note, as you said, of what is happening in Grenada and even what has happened. Now, recently, I heard from your end of your broadcast, not you personally, that a past leader said that the things that are happening in his area are things that are.
Hold on, caller. Do I really do I need to tell you to turn down the volume of whatever device you have in the background?
What happened to you, man?
Nothing.
I don't have any mic in the background. I turned down my TV low as low can ever be.
Well, you're not hearing the reverb?
Let me turn it down a little more. Yeah.
Lovely. All right, so next time that is the level you have to have it at.
I prefer you say pretty all right.
Well, your preference is not my passion.
Anyhow,
good.
As I was saying, let me continue. That particular leader, or ex-leader, stated that there are things happening in his area and he is very much concerned about them.
Okay.
For example, he stated there were gunplay in the area with young fellows, and perhaps old one too. I use that, and he's very concerned. Now, as I've always said, and would continue to see, things don't just happen now for now. This particular person was a leader, and if the people were well trained, or if he gave them the right experience, this thing could have never occurred. So we cannot put it on the people. The people have to live by example. And they have to learn even by example. If you are good, possible people would shut up, especially a leader. They would pattern their lives maybe in relationship to your goodness. So I cannot see how somebody could come in, perhaps in cabinet, and make this statement, perhaps putting it on those who are now in power. So we have to be very careful as to what we are saying.
Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
Have a good day, sir.
I always have a good day because I listen attentively.
Good, nice.
And I listen critically.
Good.
Thank you very much, sir.
Have a good one. Your wife must be a miserable lady, boy. Oh, come. 10 minutes on to 8 o'clock. That's my good friend. I wouldn't call his name. That's the time. 10 minutes on to 8. Good morning to those of you in the diaspora. Yeah. Making your plans to come home. Well, Ernesto Jose says, I want to congratulate Macy for bringing back the traditional mass we once enjoyed in the past. It reminds me of that show Love Boat. I think the children born in the 80s will get a taste of what carnival used to be and not just a crowd of people playing jab and forget the traditional way. Let's go back to the telephone line. Good morning, caller.
Innocent, how are you doing today, man?
I am doing fine. How about you?
Great. I couldn't be greater. Greater than a greater.
That's lovely. Well, that song's oil dogish, boy.
Yeah, I love that calypso by Small Axe, man. Deconomics, man.
Deconomy.
Yeah, people must listen.
Okay, good.
That calypso have a real meaning, man. The topic is open or anything?
Well, say what's on your mind.
Okay.
As brief as possible.
Yeah, I'm just briefly about the press conference yesterday from the political leader of this country, and I was not impressed at all. Well, thankfully, at least he broke his silence on the issue of crime because people was calling on him to say something. But in terms of actions, etc., but most of the things that he talked about is things already in place. But he didn't answer the question on the issue of mentorship. And I think in his proper clarification, he didn't elaborate more. And I'm very, very, well, I won't say disappointed because I didn't expect anything more, as a matter of fact. That's my position, and I didn't say so with no disrespect. But the audio for the people asking the questions, you couldn't hear properly, and I think that was a disaster. Because when a press conference like that with the leader of this country, I think that GIS or whoever responsible, they dropped the ball. They had to do better than that because you couldn't hear what the questions. I mean, it was just you heard what the leader is saying, but the questions you couldn't hear. The whole thing wasn't nice at all. You need to do better than that, but. Finally, he has been traveling a lot. He's been traveling tremendously. I'm not against anybody traveling because there are sometimes that you have to travel. But with respect to you, gentlemen, I think you're traveling too much. You need to settle down a bit and know what's happening. But not only that, but I thought he would have given account of what was happening at the conference or all his travels because we don't get much press conference that often. In Keith Mitchell days, he used to get press conference every Tuesday. Don't have every Tuesday like him. But I think he should have had the common courtesy to report on most of his travels, all of his travels, or even he went to the heads of government conference or whatever conference he went to. And I thought that was very disrespectful of the leader of this country because we are paying him. And I think that, you know what I mean, we need to know what's happening.
Okay.
All right.
All right, thank you. Have a good day, right? Good, nice. Okay, Sharon Bartholomew. Oh my God. Is there anything you even not disappointed with? All right. Arthur Langa and my brother in New York. How are you doing, Papi? Folks, tell you what we do. We take a final commercial break and then we come back with the wrap. It's 6 minutes on to 8 o'clock.
our part of the world, we need to be prepared for natural disasters like storms and hurricanes, even outside of the season. I'm sure you'll agree that keeping our loved ones, homes, and businesses safe is important. So, I came up with a few quick tips to help you stay safe. Familiarize yourself with your electrical panel, as it may be necessary to switch off the power during a storm or flood. Make sure you install a transfer or isolation switch to prevent your generator feeding electricity to Grenlec's line. If trees are too close to power lines, call Grenlec at 237 for advice. By following these easy steps, you will be well on your way to being hurricane ready. Don't be caught off guard by natural disasters. Prepare now. For more information, visit grenlec.com.
My name is Alimaka Motley. I've been here doing nails since 2017. Me being self-employed, I have realized that paying the NIS benefits me now and even when I retire. By the time I'm 65, I will be receiving contributions back from NIS. So I benefit because I'm self-employed. Anything can happen. If anything happens to you while you're at work, you've got a bad cold, you have the COVID, you have dengue, we have all these diseases that's plaguing us at the moment. NIS will be giving you back some form of money when you're ill. So I would encourage all small business persons to sign up with NIS now.
Cricket fans, here's your opportunity to win 2 tickets to the Republic Bank CPL Final in Guyana, inclusive of airfare and hotel accommodation in the TV6 Republic Bank CPL Trivia Contest. There are also weekly prizes of tickets to the Republic Bank CPL matches and branded merchandise from TV6 and the Caribbean Premier League. To enter, simply download the TV6 app from the Google or Apple Store. Click on the TV6 RBL CPL Contest tab, answer the weekly trivia question, and submit your electronic entry form. It's that easy. So what are you waiting for? Download the TV6 app to be a winner.
Spice Up returns to the Esplanade Mall Courtyard. Spice Up the Esplanade. Every Wednesday and Friday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Spice Up the Esplanade. Your all-in-one Spice Mass event. Get a taste of everything Carnival. From music to mass to food to fashion. All things Carnival in one place. Esplanade Mall, July 7th to August 11th. Don't you miss it.
Republic Bank CPL 2023 will be one for the books. The most exciting cricket series, the Caribbean Premier League, is back and bigger than ever. 34 games across 5 territories and only one channel in Grenada, GBN, bringing you live ball-by-ball coverage of the Republic Bank CPL 2023 on GBN television, channel 7 and 11, 20 on cable, from Wednesday, August 16th to Sunday, September 24th. Sponsors, get on board now. Grenada's broadcast of Republic Bank CPL 2023 is made possible by Republic Bank. We're the one for you. The National Lotteries Authority, Grenlec, and Ackiron Plus.
Welcome back. It's 2 minutes away from 8 o'clock. It's the wrap here, and let me just quickly go through some of the comments here. And Jackson, he forget we're paying him. Just remember that. Don't let your ego control you. Yulin Alexander, this woman really have a problem with the Honorable Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell. But woman, right there you will stay with your bitterness. Oh my goodness. Come on, come on. Bernadette Thomas Alexis, the Prime Minister is working for everyone in the country. So you need to stop your nonsense about Keith. Everyone except that doesn't know where the Prime Minister is traveling to. You all don't like nothing good. Antonio Allspice Sr., this lady has never been impressed with the new government, regardless to what they do. That word I ain't using it here is in pain too since the election. So keep spewing your venom, baby. We are moving forward. All you just like a bacchanal. More up to all you. Let the lady talk. All right. And nobody, on a serious note, in all honesty, I've heard her on various programs bashing the previous administration as well. So I don't think, and that's my opinion, all right? I don't think that she is, literally just bashing this government. She's done it with the previous administration. She's just being critical. I guess she's an objective critic, all right? Not only the new government, she always spoke. That is correct. Cynthia Bayes, endorsing what I've said. Folks, this is where we've got to pull the program this morning, and those of you who contributed one way or the other, thank you. Let me quickly say this, that's coming from our WhatsApp. When the previous government traveled, were Grenadians always kept informed? Okay, you all will have to answer that. I'm not getting my mouth involved in this. I have my opinion. Morning, Gordon. I remember one old mass, the late Dr. Desmond Noel, who played old mass. His placard was, "What sweet in goat mouth go sour any." You know what? Dr. Noel had sweet in his mouth and lime in the back area. These are the old mass that we could like to come back. The band had mostly nurses and doctors. I am not against people expressing their concern about different aspects about the government, but Anne-Marie needs to cool down. Who or whatever would have bring her to that point, but it's clear she has lost it. No, she's just expressing herself just as you are. We all have different ways of doing it. We use different words, all right, good. Folks, thank you very much for being a part of the program this morning. Oh my goodness, I love this place, and I love you all. If the good Lord spare your lives, we'll do it again tomorrow. Want to say good morning to Miss Valerie Farre out there in our guy. How you doing, ma? You good? Have a nice one. I love you. Bye-bye. This is it. The BBC comes up next.